gopis were not enlightened body. Understand? There were few gopis who were directly serving Krishna were enlightened. They took conscious birth. Because Krishna came down, Radha, Pushkala, Kala, those few, they all came down with Krishna. But all gopis were not enlightened. They were not born enlightened. They are working towards enlightenment.
So the same story just true as we hear all the time scripture says that we keep saying Rama Krishna name. At the end, if you utter Rama Krishna name, somewhere there's a guarantee.
This is at the end. If you utter, you see, when you are in that during death, naturally you go to the peak. So at that moment, if you can be aware and unclutch, you see, uttering Rama Krishna name and all is nothing but in that pain, if you can, in that crisis, if you can bring the memory of the divine, that's practically unclutching. So there is a possibility that you can break, you can be liberated. But one thing you should know importantly, when that intense pain and the crisis happens, you will not be able to remember unless during living time you remember continuously. See, during that last moment, what happens, what is the strongest experience for you in the life? That comes up and opens. Please, all of you understand? Now, whatever I am talking, straight truth I am talking. Let me say a few words. The only difference between you and me is how we think. What are the center points of our thinking? Please understand. If our thinking can be compared to this cloth, this kerchief, it's like what are the points? These threads are touching each other. That only will decide the shape of the cloth. See, this cloth is different, this cloth is different. Here, the touching points, each thread touching each other, the point is different, here the points are different. The ordinary mind is more or less like this. A refined, the conscious mind, of course, it will not be like this, it will be different. It's like what are the points which holds you? For example, why you think the way you think? Because of the answers you know already. Understand? Why you think the way you think? Because the answers you know already. Why you think money is life? Because you have so many answers already known to you. Money adds this, money adds that, money adds this all. Why you think love is life? Because there are so many answers you know. That adds this. The answers you carry act like a point, center points through which you are thinking. All of you are able to understand what I am saying? Now, I am trying to create the center points in you. It's like creating a road. Center points in you. Just the center points I have. If the same center points are reproduced in you and old center points are removed, it's like the other day, Malaysia, I was seeing a drawing in a board. They put some 20 pins, and from each, between different pins, they have put the thread. You understand what I am saying? How they make a drawing? See, these points are now making the decision of how the painting will look. You understand? This kind of paintings you have seen, that they make it out of thread. They put pins and they just tie the thread and make. Now, this is your mind structure, means these pins are the answers you know. These pins are the answers you know. These pins. Because of these pins only, the drawing exists. Because of these answers only, your mind exists. Now all I am trying to do, put the pin structure which is in me. So naturally what will happen? The drawing will become the pin structure which I am having. Means the drawing which is running based on the cosmic law. See now these pins, fortunately or unfortunately you may give any reason, but this is like your own law. This is neither the law of your country nor the law of the cosmos. That is why with the law of the country, with the law of the cosmos, you are constantly clashing. Clash with the law of country and the law of cosmos is what we call bondage. In my case, there is no clash because the pins are based on the cosmic law. There is no clash. It just flows with the cosmic law. Now all I am trying to do through these answers, I am straight away trying to put the pin structure as it is in me. So just internalize these answers, or even if you listen, it will directly be internalized because I am talking to your being. That peak moments, your whole body will boil. See, when you boil a pot filled with water and put few things inside, which has strong taste, that only will open up and spread. Same way, when you boil your body, during that practically your body and mind gets boiled. So which part of you is very strong in you, that only opens itself and spreads all over. If violence is the strongest experience you had in your life, violence will open up, that memory will open up. Or tasting is the strongest experience, the most joyful, strongest thing which you enjoyed in your life is tasting. Then it will only, that will open up. Jalebi, 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 gulab jamun, gulab jamun, gulab jamun. McDonald's, McDonald's, McDonald's. Only that will open up. What is the strongest experience you had in your life? If it is sex, only physical, that is the strongest experience you had, then that will open up. Whatever is the strongest experience you had when you are inside the body will open up when you leave the body. See, if you had a strongest experience with the master, this is the strongest thing you had in your life, then I'll open up. Then I'll only open up.
That was the question. That was
I will only open up. Even for Sagunis, even Saguni became enlightened because the strongest enmity he had in his life is towards Krishna. If you know that mythological stories, the Mahabharata, Saguni became enlightened. When he left the body, the whole energy entered into Krishna and disappeared. Sisubala became enlightened. It's called Virodha Bhava. Even if you entertain enmity, you will become enlightened. But that will be too painful when you are living. That is why I don't want that Bhava for all you guys. But even that liberates. With enlightened being, even that liberates. Anything with enlightened being liberates. But the Virodha Bhava will torture you when you are in the body. It will left and right torture you. That's right. Then over. And especially the people who said that I don't even know there was a part of me, part of my life without you. That kind of connection. You guys don't have to worry at all. Over. You are done. And all you need to do, just live around as long as you are here. Don't even have the pressure of becoming enlightened. When I say intellect drops, I don't mean, as you understand, the violent hold intellect as on you will drop. The intellect itself will not drop. Understand? It has a very strong, violent influence over you. If your intellect decides not to be here, you will not be here. So that kind of violent hold, intellect should not have that kind of violent hold over you. That's all I am saying. Because intellect is nothing but that thinking diagram, which may not be fitting with the cosmic diagram.
It seems to me that
See, your intellect is nothing but the answers you have based on the answers you got.
That's right. But
So now, this diagram, if this diagram itself becomes a decision-making factor, the cosmic diagram will be different. So whenever you meet the cosmic diagram, you directly come face to face with the cosmic diagram during your birth, death, heavy loss in your life. During those moments, directly you are under the cosmos, judgment of the cosmos. Or I can say in the court of the cosmos, the direct presence of the cosmos. So those moments, your intellectual diagram may not fit with the existential diagram. Then that brings heavy bondage and suffering. That is why I am saying, the whole intellect's hold on you only should disappear, not intellect itself. How it happens, the pins, if you have the thread, you just pull out the pins, few pins, even if the thread is same or the diagram is same, it won't bind you anymore. If I just pull out those pins, what will happen? The moment I keep it straight, what will happen? All the thread will drop. It will not bind you. Same way, if I just remove the strong answers which you have already, which I will be doing now. Once I remove, even if the thread is in the same shape, it will not be binding you. Whenever it needed, it will just reshuffle itself. Actually, sharp intellect, when it becomes really, really sharp, it understands, it cannot understand everything. No, really. It will understand, No, I know for sure, as many human beings, that many mental setup is there. As many human beings, that many mental setup. So this, when you understand that, intellect becomes compassion. Just it becomes compassion. Oh God, so many people, so many mental setup. No need to bind anybody, no need to judge anybody, no need to tell anything to anybody. And whatever I am sharing, if they catch, it's okay. It becomes just deep compassion. The way in which you approach the whole thing becomes different. Being very clear about uncertainty and not too much bothered about small details. You understand? When you look at the whole picture, you will not bother about small detail. Like if you look at from the aeroplane, the whole world, you will not be bothered about why the swimming pool is 3 feet less or 4 feet height. You understand? But when you are in the ground, you are bothered about why this road is only 2 feet, this pathway should have been 3 feet. So when you look at the whole,
everything is predetermined. In fact, he was answering somebody's question. Even picking up the cup, the way that person was picking up the cup and having tea, he said, even to that, life is predetermined.
I say, actually, when Ramana Maharshi says that, he is using it as a technique to put you into that silence. If you think everything is determined, suddenly you will have that ultimate rest in you. You will say, God, chala, what is the use of doing anything? Relax. And this moment you can be liberated. That's a very powerful technique. Very powerful technique. I can say that for the intense seekers, very powerful technique. When you internalize that, the settlement will be so deep in you. It's practically like a landing with a parachute. The parachute, how you settle down. Just like that you will settle down into your being. You will not have anything which is in between, which is holding you, which is catching you. It's a very powerful technique. Usually can't be applied for a normal man who is in the civilization. A normal so-called civilized man cannot practice this technique. That's why I don't promote the technique. It's not fact, it's a truth. What Ramana Maharshi said is not fact, but it's a truth. It can lead you to truth. Sometimes we use words which leads you to truth, which may not look like fact. The mind survives. The mind needs a base. Like if you have to float, if you have to surf, you need a surfing pad. The conflict is a surfing pad for you to float on the cosmic ocean. If that pad is removed, the conflict, you will be there inside the cosmos. when the moment either head or the feet, some part of the baby, if it touches this pran, this cosmic pran, immediately soul enters into it. You understand what I am saying? This air, when it sees the space, when it is out of the body, any one part, sometimes legs come first, sometimes head comes first. When the skin of the baby sees this space, then soul enters into the body. That's all. Till then, soul doesn't enter into the body. Till then, the soul and the heartbeat, everything is mothers. Extension of mothers. See, body is prepared. The Parikshit's body was prepared. And Prahlada's body was prepared. Because the body was such a high, good, wonderful memories, the high soul takes the body, assumes the body. Narada teaching, Krishna teaching, all was for biomemory. The body, the memory got programmed inside the body, but not the soul, to the soul itself.
No, but in some Puran, the Jivatma describes the pain in the mother's womb, like a health.
The 9 months.
9 months.
No. Consciously it does not happen. It might have been some imagination. Consciously only the coming out time the Jiva enters. That's what I am saying. Body was prepared with all those teachings. So that kind of soul took the body and reclaimed that memories and started living. See, Chakravyuh memory was recorded inside him when he was inside the womb. And he himself was not there. After the soul took the body, that memory, biomemory was in his body, he reclaimed and started using. That's the way the Prahlada, that's the way the Abhimanyu, everything. Parikshit, everything. That's all, because he was not taught completely. Only half he was taught. Then Krishna stopped it. He was talking about, you see, he was talking all these things to Abhimanyu's mother. After he spoke a certain level, Abhimanyu's mother slept off. Then he said, all right, you are sleeping, I don't want to disturb you, and he went away. Please understand, you can remember those memories because they have become part of your biomemory. But that does not mean you yourself were there physically when those memories got recorded into your system. It's like a CD, after being programmed, put in the laptop, it's being read. That does not mean when the programming was done, the CD was inside this laptop.
As life introduces itself, let's welcome it with all the doors open. Go beyond where words can't go. 21 days in His presence as He reveals truths. An invitation to visit the land of eternal bliss. Heaven on earth with the Master of the Millennium, Paramahamsa Nityananda. Register now for the special program, Inner Awakening, December 2nd to 23rd. Email innerawakening2009@gmail.com. Visit us at www.dhyanapitham.org. Phone 919731257960, 919742203311, 918027202801 or 918027202084. Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Bidadi, Bangalore, Karnataka, India 562109.